Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Lance Crone here, and today I want to chat with you about one of the questions that I got recently because this is a question that I've gotten so many times over the last 15 years of my coaching career. And I figured that this was probably something because I had this from a couple of my clients who were kind of going through something similar. And then I started noticing a few other people inside of our Elevate Your Body Confidence group kind of mentioning the same thing. And lo and behold, I had a few other people. I sent out an email, and the email is asking people what they're struggling with and so on and so forth. And this just kept coming up. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to do a video on this because I figured that if everybody is kind of battling with this same thing with motivation and not really understanding like where this comes from and they're looking for some sort of external motivation, I want to offer you some of the things that will help you to get in better alignment so that you can get the needle moving on your goals again. So, nevertheless, the question that I got was, Lance, I just don't have the motivation to reach my goals and I just can't figure out why. So the thing of it is that I got like last week, over the last 2 weeks, I think I got probably like 11 or 12 emails of people saying very similar things to this. Lance, I'm just struggling. I'm burnt out. Lance, I'm struggling. I don't have the motivation. I still want the goal. I just can't figure this out. Okay. My very first question is for you is if you're watching this, can you relate? I mean, I definitely can. That's why I wanted to do this because this is something that, let me just say this. Everything in my Master Your Body Confidence program that Lauren and I built is literally built for all the things that either Lauren and I battled ourselves from emotional eating, anxiety, trying to figure out meal timing, carb timing, what matters, what doesn't, how we self-sabotage, all this stuff. Everything that we battled, we put into a program with the tools and solutions. So this is something that I battled myself many, many times. I'm going to give you a couple different things that are going to help you. So the very first one is start by asking yourself the following here and just see what comes out from there. You might end up seeing that there are specific ways you're getting in your own way. So very first thing that you want to ask yourself whenever you're lacking motivation, knowing that again, you need to get in shape, you know that you want to get in shape or you want something better, and you're finding yourself not doing it. You're finding yourself almost in this sense of just like, blasé, just not feeling like getting it done. I've been there, I get it. And the very first thing you want to do is start by asking yourself, what do I want? You cannot have action steps in the right direction if you don't even know what you want. And I'm not talking about, well, I want to be in shape. I'm talking about specifically, what do you want? All of us want more money. We all want to be better looking. We all want, more of this, better shape, to be in better health. But what specifically for you? Okay, so here's just a couple things to help you. What do I want? Do I want to feel more confident? Do I want to fit into my old size? Do I want to get healthy so that I don't suffer like my parents did? Do I want to get my life back? Do I want my significant other to see me like they used to? Do I want to get off of medications? What is it that you want? If you don't start there and determine what specifically that you want, what your desires are, you're not going to take any actions in that direction because that's not the way that your subconscious mind works. Everything that we do is motivated by some sense of either moving further away from pain or closer towards pleasure. If you don't determine what it is that you want, the pleasure thing, or to get out of pain, getting off of meds or getting away from this or what have you, how do you expect to have the motivation and inspiration to keep you moving? So step one, start with determining, and I mean write this down. What do I want? Number two, why do I want this? Okay, this is the underlying motivation. This one is even more important than the first one to a degree, only because of the fact that this is the driving force. If you don't have this, the goal, the what you want is just a wish. It's just a dream, nothing more. Here's the why. This is going to be the thing that's going to push us, that's going to give us a little bit more of that oomph that tells our psyche that what we're doing isn't a waste of energy. See, what you don't know maybe is that your mind is constantly battling for where to spend or expend your energy. And what it's looking to do is to convince you to expend any energy where you get a dopamine surge, you get status elevation, or something creates more pleasure or less pain. if you're not aware of what those things are, you might just tend to be working towards things that were familiar or comfortable that don't serve your goal, all because you're not being intentional. So why do I want this? Here's a couple that might just give you some examples. So my ex knows what he or she is missing, and I feel vindicated. Okay? To feel like I'm not invisible. That was mine. Growing up, I felt like I was completely invisible and just felt like if I just could get in shape and have muscle and be masculine and be seen in a certain way, I would no longer be invisible, and the things that people did notice wouldn't be negative. And that was my why. That was my motivation. So it may be to feel, or to have more energy so that you've got more energy for fun things. Is it to have your life back? Is it so that you're able to fit into something that will turn heads? Is it so that you can fit into something that stops turning heads? Because maybe you feel right now you're putting on a shirt or putting on a top of some kind that feels like everything's exposed, like you're, like you feel like if you've used the term before, muffin top. I've used that so many times, and when I've gotten to that point to where I feel uncomfortable, I feel like I've got a muffin top and I'm pulling at my shirt and I'm just kind of uncomfortable, and I notice that I sit like this with my arms crossed a little bit more when I'm sitting because I don't want that exposure. Is this it? Is that one of them for you? Now, these are smaller things, but these little collective things coming together will create something major for you that actually will push you to take your actions. So the next thing is, we've gone through what and why. What am I willing to do or pay to get it? What would this cost me, and am I willing to do that? Okay, this is a huge one. A lot of times you think that you know what it costs you, but you never take inventory. And what I mean by that is people are like, I don't have time to work out. Well, how much time do you think it takes to work out? And then you see them freeze. I clearly haven't thought about how long it takes to work out. You just made the assumption you did not have the time. Well, here's one thing that you can do. Begin by asking yourself what you're willing to pay for it, what you're willing to expend. Are you willing to work out 30 minutes a day? Let me just tell you, my clients only work out 30 minutes a day. They don't need to work out longer than that. If you do longer than that, before you've built up your stamina and your willpower, your discipline, your schedule, you might find yourself skipping workouts instead of just staying with the consistency because it feels too long. You're creating dread. So another one, are you willing to track your food habits? That would be a great place to start. It doesn't cost anything. It takes just a couple minutes, and that will help you to start seeing that what you think that you're consuming isn't actually what it is. I've had a lot of clients that just started tracking and didn't even understand why they were tracking and didn't even understand where I was going to be taking them. And just them tracking was causing them to be a little bit more conscientious of what they put in their mouths, and that caused them to drop weight. Just being conscientious causes you to do that. So is that a place you're willing to start? That could be a great one. Are you looking to hire a trainer or a coach? Here's the thing. If you're not willing to spend time or money or effort here, chances are that you're truly not really emotionally as connected with your goal is that as much as what Lauren and I would want you to be connected for working with us in our program. Now, the reason we say that is because this connection to the emotion is what allows Olympic athletes to get up at 3 a.m. and train for 16 hours. It's not just sheer discipline. People just don't wake up with some sort of discipline and decide I'm going to work out for 16 hours or do something crazy like that the world would see as crazy. The reason they do that is because of this motivation and the willingness to pay a certain time, a certain effort in order to get this thing. You're not willing to pay that if number two, why, doesn't exist. So the thing of it is that what you want to do is focus on why do you really want to get in shape? Why? Think about it. Not just to be healthy, feel better, but why? So again, I'm just asking here just because I want you to just see if this feels negative to you. Why do you really want to get in shape? Why not just stay here again another year? Now that's where if you felt that like, ooh, that kind of stings a little, why not? Why would you not want to stay exactly where you are for one more year? Okay, now the next question, this one might even hurt a little bit more, is what happens if 1 year from now you're not only the same as where you are now, the same level of discomfort, the same level of lacking confidence, lack of energy, But now imagine that just like the average American, you've gained about 8 to 12 pounds additional to what you are now. Now you are already feeling low energy and so forth. Maybe your confidence isn't where it should be or where you prefer it to be. And because you didn't focus on your what or your why or what you were willing to pay, 1 year from now instead of being 12 pounds down, 5 pounds down, even 1 pound down, you're up 12 because of the fact that you didn't take action and you fell prey to the normal mindset that happens, the stress eating, the lack of action because we're so on computers and TVs and so on and so forth. These are the things that affect, I mean, this affects me. This is why I have to think about these things. So the thing of it is the next thing you want to ask yourself is, how soon am I willing to start taking action? So this is for the person who's like, this is why I want this. This is what I'm willing to pay. How soon am I willing to start taking action? And again, if it's not immediately yet that you're willing to take action, chances are that you're still not clear on what you want or how much you want it or why. That is why we go back to the beginning. What do I want? And if you can't really determine a strong why for what you want, it may not be what you want. You may want something deeper than just dropping 20 pounds. What you may want is to be accepted by your significant other, to be told that you're beautiful, to be told X, to feel this way. And what you believe or perceive is that by dropping 30 pounds, you'll get there. Okay, now that's the point here, is that if I start asking myself, no, what do I really want? If I say to drop 30 pounds, why do you want that 30 pounds? It's not just so you feel better. There's something that's there that you're really after. Because again, if there was no association to the scale whatsoever, nobody would give a crap about wanting to be lighter or wanting to be heavier if they're a male wanting to be more muscle. The fact is that what people are wanting is a state of being or a feeling of more confidence or more of something. And what you're doing is you're buying into the notion that that loss of 30 pounds, loss of fat, or increase of muscle is the thing that will do it. My job is to help you to determine what that thing is behind the thing that you want. The point is that most people want to drop 20 or 30 pounds or 15 pounds, whatever it is. The fact is that that's not all they want. What they really want is acceptance. What they really want is to feel noticed, to feel loved, to feel that they won't be abandoned, to feel that they have the confidence when they look in the mirror. The thing of it is that they're just simply choosing the goal of losing 30 pounds because just like I believed that by increasing my muscle and decreasing body fat, I believed that that would solve my original problem of feeling invisible and only feeling noticed by the negatives of what I saw in the mirror. So I believed the notion. Now, if I were to take that to a trainer and say, I want to get this much muscle, and he says, why do you want it? And I tell him, just to feel healthy. That's not the truth. The truth is because if I were being truthful with that person, I would say, because I'm tired of feeling invisible, and I think that putting on muscle like this is going to give me the confidence that I want. That's the truth. Now, my job here is to help you to determine how to get to what I just got right there. Because when you get there, there is power. You will take action. Let me just tell you this. Now, again, this was disordered because I didn't have good habits back then. I was not working on a lot of the mindset that I learned to do over the years. But I believed that this would solve my problem so much. I was so connected with my why that there would be times that if I forgot to work out or if I got home late, I would work out at 2 a.m. And now, again, is that healthy? I would venture to say no. But the fact is that can you imagine having that sort of motivation that if you're exhausted, but you're so motivated, it's not like I feel obligated and I'm just going to go do this because I'm going to feel guilty. It's like you're like, no, I've got to hit my goal. You get up out of excitement to work out. Can you imagine that? Seriously, imagine that. I want you to think about that. Being so inspired to work out, so inspired to show up, to reach your goal. That's what happens when you're focused on what you want, why you want it, and what you're willing to pay to get it. The final thing I want you to ask yourself that most people forget is, what will this payout be for me? And what I mean by that is, what will I gain? How will my life improve by making this happen? That's most likely going to be your why if you're struggling on the why. But what this will do is to help to make sure that when you are choosing what you want, you've got a strong connection, and you know that you're not just looking for the scale loss or the scale gain. There is a reward on the other side of this, of confidence, of maybe better finances because you've got the confidence to go after a job that you want, or to start the business that you desire. Or maybe you go after that client that you've been too scared to go after because you don't have the confidence you did 10 years ago when you were 30 pounds lighter. Does this resonate? I hope it does. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with this one. I hope that this has helped you. If you feel like this has been valuable, please leave a comment with hashtag value below or hashtag resonates, and let me know. So these are things that we have battled, and these are things that, again, I'm telling you, they will absolutely just make the needle move more than you've ever seen when you take these things seriously. So thanks so much for watching.